in this video I want to show you a great Cubase tip. I use this pretty much in every Cubase project, and it's a serious workflow enhancer. Let's dive into Cubase here. Say you have a big project like this with lots and lots of tracks. Besides the regular tracks, you have a marker track with some markers, a chord track, and maybe also a signature track if your track has some signature changes, a tempo track with some tempo changes. These are all called global tracks in Cubase, and that's a good name for them because they refer to the whole project. I can try and stick all of them up here at the top of the project. Problem is that if I, for instance, want to work on some tracks right here, and I want to remember what the chords are in this section, the chord track is way up there, and I have to keep scrolling back and forth to check out the chord track every time. Luckily, Cubase has us covered here. If you go up here and click on this tiny slash sign, you get this new separated area on the top of the screen. When you do this for the first time, you'll get a blank area. I have a bunch of tracks in here. Since I've used the separator before in this project, I just turned it off for the sake of the video. Anyhow, you could put whichever track you want in this area. So it's a great way to sort of pin tracks to the top of the screen where they can be visible all the time. Watch now, when I scroll down, the top section isn't affected at all. Let me show you what tracks I like to put in this top section to enhance my workflow. First off, we have these global tracks that I mentioned earlier, the chord track, the signature track, tempo track, and the marker track. The last kind of global track that I actually didn't mention before is a ruler track. Having a ruler showing the timing of the project in seconds alongside the main grid that's in bars and beats is an especially useful one in my opinion. The way you set that up is very easy. You go to the Add Track menu by either clicking on this plus button or simply pressing the letter T on your keyboard. You pick the ruler track from the options, Add Track. Now I can click here and change it from bars and beats to seconds, and voila! I have a ruler showing me the exact timing at any bar in the project. The last step is taking and dragging this track to our newly created upper area on the top here, so it'll be in clear view also if I scroll down and work on some tracks on the bottom of the project. Apart from the global tracks, there are a couple of other tracks that I like to put up here in the separate section. One such track is a folder with reference tracks. That's something I don't want to go looking for in the regular project window. I also like having a track for sketching out ideas with my voice. So I have just a regular audio track up here, which I can switch on anytime I want to record a little idea so I don't forget it. The third kind of track that I like putting in here is a piano track. I often start off writing a piece with a piano and sketch out the whole thing ahead of time before I orchestrate it. So I like keeping that piano sketch up here in this section so I can go back to it easily while I do the orchestration. The last two tracks that I have up here are a folder with my effects tracks. These are sound effects that are being used by several tracks throughout the project, so I like having easy access to them up here. And lastly, I have the master bus up here as well, so I don't have to go looking for it. Now, having a whole bunch of tracks up here does make it more difficult to have them all in clear sight at once. What I do is I leave the ruler track on top like this, because that's something that I always want in clear view. And if I need one of the other tracks in this section, I just scroll back and forth inside this section, which is still much easier than scrolling through a whole project to find something. I find this Cubase feature exceptionally useful for my workflow, and I use it, as I said, in pretty much every single project. By the way, I picked up a few of the ideas here from Chris Salim's channel, so shout out to Chris. He's an amazing channel with tons of Cubase tutorials, so if you're a Cubase user, you should definitely check it out if you haven't done so. That's it for today. Let me know in the comments if you learned something new. And if you have your own workflow enhancers that you can't do without, please drop them in the comments as well so we can all learn from each other. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. That would mean a great deal to me and help me continue making these videos. See you in the next one.